Now, what would you say is your favorite Beatles song?
Probably like Abbey Road.
Okay, well today we're looking at Blackbird.
Oh, okay. Something about this game is like getting me in the mood. I really just wanna smooch something.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting, because, it's a little tragic.
Oh, wow. Ooh, va-va-voom.
Jesus.
Do you think being poked with a stick is what turned them into an egg?
Yeah, because now we're the Blackbird, the titular Blackbird. So, this game, I'm gonna say, is like a shoot 'em up by way of Rampage.
This just kind of looks like Fantasy Zone, maybe?
Maybe a little bit like that, too. I don't have that in my, my back pocket as, like, a reference.
Okay.
But it could be Fantasy Zone.
Okay, well, I'll let you describe the rules, and I'll say if they're Fantasy Zone-esque.
Okay, so we're in a map that scrolls infinitely, like in a circle.
Okay. Fantasy Zone-esque.
Is that Fantasy Zone? Okay. You get bonus points for destroying things within the world.
Okay, well, I mean, that's less Fantasy Zone, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna guess your main objective is to destroy these enemy spawners. And then the level concludes with a boss fight?
Yes.
Okay, it's Fantasy Zone.
Okay, so welcome to Fantasy Zone. So this game is made by Onion Games, who
Oh wait, I have a joke. Can I say my joke? It's My Dark Twisted Fantasy Zone.
I like it. This is very good.
Thank you.
Oh look, we leveled up.
Oh,
now
wow.
we're a bigger, larger, scarier bird. And we kind of got, like, the missile power-up, like, from Gradius. But anyways,
okay.
So this is by Onion Games, who are run by Yoshiro Kimura, who was the designer behind Chulip for the PlayStation 2.
Explains why this game is just so kissable.
Right, and you can tell it from the music and like the voice acting, I'll say. Like all of that comes like exactly from that sort of design philosophy from like Chulip.
And you can tell it's by the same person as Dandy Dungeon because everybody has a mustache.
Yeah, so Onion Games have done Dandy Dungeon, and they did a game that I think compares a lot to this, which was called Million Onion Hotel, where in that game it was sort of like, it is like a puzzle game that's like run-based, and the story comes through, and whack-a-mole, and sort of the story comes through between each level, so you're incentivized like on this kind of run-based sort of thing to not only get high scores, because it also keeps a major leaderboard, but to figure out more of the story that's going on. In this case, we'd be learning about our horrible Blackbird protagonist, and the girl that created him.
Nothing about onions.
Nothing about onions. But so, we've reached our first boss, and this is where it gets a lot more, like, shoot 'em up. Mm-hmm. Like, just traditional.
So, is your eye, is that your hitbox?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like all good shmups, your hitbox is very small, and in this case, it's your eye, which is very easy to distinguish against everything else, which, very good design there.
Mm-hmm. I give that a gold J.
Oh, is this like a new, like, rating thing you're doing?
What are you talking about? I've always done this.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Also, now you have to kill Santa Claus. Cool.
Yeah, so it turns out that the whole time it was Santa Claus.
Or like a balloon of Santa Claus?
I mean, I assume that this is what Santa Claus could do, like, in real life.
But he has, like, a little balloon butthole.
You know, I guess you're right. But yeah, no, I really like how much is carried over from sort of like Kimura's like Chulip stuff, like the music with like the nonsense vocals and stuff.
Oh yes,
it's all very good,
incredibly good.
And so the thing that powers you up in this game are the gems. Mm-hmm. So we are like level 3, and there are like, as you get hit, you might level down. As you get more, you might level up, and it just like increases your power, the number of like basically missiles you shoot out.
Okay, and like how big your guns are.
Right. How big? Yeah, how big your bullets are.
Oh, I love Pikmin.
You can only have 3 bullets out at a time, so that's something to keep in mind while playing this.
Do you have to hammer that button, or can you just hold it down?
I hammer it. I didn't actually try holding it down. That's the kind of sicko I am when I play video games.
Right. You like to feel like you're in charge.
Exactly. And hidden throughout the level are these pots, and a bug will pop out of them, and I don't know if this happens in Fantasy Zone. It definitely happens in, like, Parodias. They're kind of like the bells, where if you shoot them, they'll change what they do.
Ah, yes. That's an interesting twist. So, something in Fantasy Zone not in this game is an item shop.
Okay, yeah, no item shop here. It's like you have to find it throughout the levels, and if it's yellow, it'll give you health. If it's blue, it'll increase your speed, and otherwise you get a bomb.
And if it's brown, flush it down.
Exactly. Jesus. Yeah, you can get bombs as well, and so you see on the top left we have our life meter and our bomb meter, something to keep in mind. And on the right is our score and our combo meter. So the combo goes up to 30 as your max. Oh. And so as long as you're killing things, you keep that up and you get a higher score.
I'll spin that windmill around.
Oh, I will. I'll keep doing that. But, yeah, so this game, like I said a little bit, is very run-based, because it's like a score attack as well as having, like, a story attached to it. But I think the main focus in this is definitely on gameplay more than the actual, like, story presentation. Kind of like Million Onion Hotel.
Yeah, this is a lot of video game right here.
Yeah, it's very video game. Like, you saw that last cutscene. It was, like, maybe 5 seconds long.
Right, but it said a lot. It had a lot of lore in it. Oh, it's the man from... it's the Asparagus Man from Million Onion Hotel.
Yeah, there's Asparagus on. There are a lot of secrets to be found and, like, references to other Onion games. It's very charming.
Yeah.
I really do find, like, Kimura's particular style of, like, not only, like, design, but also, like, video game development, like, very charming.
So, like, I think this game came out, like, a couple months ago, and I feel sort of bad, because I didn't pick it up, even though I've played a couple of these games before, but it's just, like, this one came out at kind of a steep price point for, this company, because it was $20.
Yeah, it's $20, and, well, this is also their first non-mobile game.
Aside from Chulip, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's a different company.
Okay.
I mean, specifically within Onion Games, this is their first non-mobile thing. Dandy Dungeon was free with microtransactions. Million Onion Hotel was like...
$4.
Maybe like $5. Yeah, it was like $4. And this one is $20, but I think that's because there is, like, technically more game in here. Like, it is a video game-ass video game.
Yeah. I think I've seen it go on sale for like 50% off though, so I might try that next time.
Yeah. Here we have to kill the chicken inside the giant robot chicken.
Oh, what came first, the chicken or the chicken?
It's a good question. Also, if you get down to 1 life, as you can see here, you start glowing red, you start getting a little angry.
Yeah, you're looking a little frazzled.
You know, it's tough out there for a blackbird. I mean, you've seen what kind of things we'd have to go up against. Missiles.
So, Chorps, I know you're a master video game player. How many times have you beaten this game?
So far, 0.
Oh, okay. And how many times have you beaten it on hard mode?
There's no hard mode, but 0. So welcome to Neo Lumina. This is our first, like, real, like, you know, pedestrian sort of area, and therefore there's a lot more things to break.
And a lot more things to just, like, look at with my eyes, and it's wearing me out, I gotta say.
I mean, look, it's the 3rd level, you know, we gotta start upping the ante somehow, and what better way than to, like, visually overload you? But yeah, there's... like, as it goes on, a lot more just happens. So it goes from, like, what you could say is, like, I'd say pretty typical sort of, like, shoot 'em up sort of thing, and it fairly quickly becomes bullet hell, not just because of, like, density of bullets, but just because, like, there's a lot of other stuff going on.
I don't know if I'd say that this is bullet hell. I'd say it's more of just, like,
Actual hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real actual hell. I get it.
Satan's here, and he's, like, saying hi. He's just like, have you listened to my mixtape? And it's, like, all this scat.
Yeah, he's actually doing the soundtrack right now, Satan is.
Yeah. I like that you have fins now. You look like an angelfish.
Yeah, I'm like a little bit like a sunfish. If I float over to my side, I'll be incapable of moving, so hopefully we won't have that issue come up.
Right, but if you turn around, you'll be completely flat, and they won't be able to see you.
Oh, you're right. But so, also as you go on, like, the levels have more, like, elaborate things that will pop up, just like, just things you can interact with, and again, things for score.
Right.
Like in this one at the bottom, you can see a set of train tracks, and you can see that the railroad crossing's going nuts.
Oh no.
That's because there's a train!
Oh no, and they're shooting rings at you.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a second train! Well, good thing you killed the first train, or else the second train would have died. Really, you're a hero.
Yeah, no, look, you know, Blackbird isn't just a bad bird. Blackbird's looking out for everyone, but mostly for themselves.
I like that Blackbird has like 3 nostrils on the side of his beak.
It's pretty good. I mean, that's just what happens when you power up. You need to breathe more, and therefore, you need more nostrils.
I don't know who I'm supposed to feel sympathy for.
Maybe you're not supposed to feel sympathy. Maybe that's the point.
Oh, okay.
So here we've got something that, again, feels very, like, shoot 'em up, right? Like, you have specific targets you have to hit, and you have to navigate around lasers.
Do you think if you wanted to, you could even spoil what happens in this game?
No. First of all, because I don't think anyone would believe you with the bosses, but also, like, as far as I've gotten, there's very little of the story to be able to say what happens besides literally in the first cutscene where the girl dies and, gets,
Hey, spoilers!
And then turns into a blackbird. Like, as far as I know, that's the most, like, substantial thing that's happened so far.
This kind of feels like if Wario Land Shake It was a beat 'em up, or was a shoot 'em up.
Maybe a little bit. Same sort of, like, quirky attitude.
Yeah. It needs more farting, if you ask me.
I think quirky is definitely, like, the best signifier for what Kimura's games are like. And I mean that in the best way possible. He's just got a very particular, like, aesthetic and idea behind him, and I think it's very charming.
I've got a question. Is there a way to lock which direction you're facing?
I have not found it yet, and the controls didn't say anything about that.
Oh, that's a shame. That's always, like, a big beef I have with, like, these shmups where you're like, going back and forth.
Yeah, I found that a little more difficult in this boss, certainly, where everything is always exactly in the middle.
This poor mouse.
Also, yeah, turns out it's just a mouse on a wheel.
Aw, man, you were doing so well, too.
Yeah, no, like, sometimes you enter sicko mode, and sometimes the sicko mode gets you, you know?
Mm-hmm. You just entered bird brain mode.
Exactly. I'm a real bird brain, that's for sure.
Oh, I like that laugh a lot. Oh, man, you split that mouse asunder.
Yeah, what I like about the bosses, too, is that they literally split into gems. Like, all the pieces just turn into gems and fly randomly around the screen.
So that... It's a Fantasy Zone thing.
It's a Fantasy Zone thing? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh shit, I get it now.
Yeah. We're starting to embrace it. Well, it's an aristocratia. That's right, you're just killing rich people this time.
Finally, a video game I can get behind.
I don't think they attack you either, right? They have like these drones that'll shoot at you in various patterns. I don't think any of the people actually like pose any harm to you.
You should be able to eat them.
Oh man, you'd think with as big as my beak's getting that I'd absolutely be able to eat them.
They're just having fun at that ball. You ruined it.
Also, I'll say, like, we talked about like how last level was very visually busy. I like how much this one, like, there's a lot going on in the background to, like, notice. There's a lot of detail in all of these levels, but this one's, like, a lot easier to read.
So, in this game, whenever you die, is it like you start over at the beginning?
Yeah.
Wow.
But you do have a practice mode to sort of, like, be able to, like, find whatever route you want out of a particular chapter. Like, if you've beaten a chapter, you are allowed to just, like, play it on its own. Mm-hmm. And kind of, like, figure out, like, you know, techniques, try to master it. So, like, there is a way to practice, but yes, it is run-based in that you have to start over from the very beginning.
But there's nothing particularly random, like, about this. It's not really a roguelike, it's just a difficult video game.
Yeah, it's just difficult. Like, certainly, like, things will spawn, so, like, the towers will kind of spawn things differently sometimes. Mm-hmm. Certain enemies will pop up, like, I don't think this guy pops up, like, in the same place every time or has the same patterns every time.
Right, of course.
But he's a fucker who's here to ruin my day.
I'm sure that bomb is exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, no, I absolutely needed it. That way I have, like, a little bit of a safety net.
Oh no, kill that man!
Oh, absolutely, I'm killing all the men.
Are these, like... What are these? Are these, like, rich people robots?
I'm guessing they're security drones.
No, like the big piles of the gray ones.
Oh! That's a really good question. I don't know.
Oh, there's just a blender filled with rich people.
I assume that there's... Oh, maybe it's like Soylent, right? Like, they're taking the less rich people and turning them into, like, food product.
I thought it was saying the rich people are the real oppressed.
Oh, well, I mean... In this case, that might also be true. I mean, specifically oppressed by the Blackbird.
Right. Wow, a lot of symbolism in this game.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're getting it.
Oh, you're looking extra disturbing now. Oh, and you got a little
yeah.
line now.
Yeah, look, things are looking great. We got 2 wings now. We got 2 little fins now.
Man, this might be the run, Chorps. I think you're gonna beat the game.
So as you can see, also, like, the bosses get a lot more elaborate. Like, this one has, like, a whole lead-up to the fight. We're not even in the real fight yet.
Oh, wow.
This is kind of like that, the tower in Battletoads, right? It's like, you know, the gauntlet leading up to it.
Do you know how many, like, stages, roughly, this game has, or...?
I don't actually know how many stages it has.
How far have you gotten, and is it this far?
Hey, let's not spoil the video too quick.
Wow, this area is giving you a lot of big gems.
Yeah, it just lets you, like, you start getting a bunch of them, like, because it has, like, the green bubbles that go up.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I'm going to guess that by the gravitas with which this boss is being treated, that this is near the end.
Maybe.
Anyways, it's time to take on Insanus Mammon. I was not ready. Not even a little bit.
Oh. Blackbird!
As you saw, like, the little girl's body just falls?
Well, she's in space. That means it won't be as hard when she hits the ground.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Maybe it's not so bad.
That was a pretty good score.
Yeah. So, like we said before, very score attack, so we can look at our ranking. You can see that my best score has me at about 900.
And that your name does not fit on the screen.
Yep. And at the top is, several... It's a lot. It's like 1 billion. Yeah, that's Blackbird. I'm finding it really entertaining and just like a good sort of like, it's like tough but not too tough. It's something that you kind of like, you can let yourself just sort of like zone out to.
Yeah. Looks like this bird is well, the feather